This is the gentleman from Michigan's 5th District for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to the panel for being here. And to my friend, Congressman Soto, 1996, I didn't come down from the mountain, but I did have a bag phone that I couldn't use, but no laptop. While Section 230 has grown a robust and innovative internet ecosystem in the United States, nearly 30 years after its enactment, it's time clearly that we look if the current model is best serving American consumers and businesses. Big tech's behavior has become increasingly more concerning, as you've indicated, Dr. Stanger, very concerning. Illegal activity and harmful content seems to be rampant on the platform, especially impacting the mental health and safety of our children. My ENC colleagues and I are working to address the catalyst of this issue, children's privacy, which is why this week I introduced H.R. 7890, the Children and Teens Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA 2.0. Together with comprehensive privacy, COPPA 2.0 will help address the root cause of the harmful algorithms and content online, but we also need to look at how companies treat that content on their platforms. I want to thank the committee for holding the hearing today to do just that. Professor Graw-Leary, regarding protecting children online, in your testimony you identified how 230 has given near absolute immunity to platforms that can be used to groom and abuse minors, among many other harms. How could you expand on how Section 230 has contributed to challenges in providing access to justice for victim survivors, particularly in cases involving online harm or abuse?
Sure, and piggybacking on Dr. Frank's comments, right, we have situations in which victim survivors, and you make an excellent point, Congressman. In all other aspects, when we discuss youth, we talk about the brain not being fully formed, all of the information that we know about these really vulnerable populations. And these companies take advantage of that, and offenders take advantage of that. And offenders flock to an atmosphere in which they can either anonymously or not anonymously get access to youth, offend against youth, engage in sextortion, a growing problem that the FBI had to send out a warning on this year, a warning from the FBI about how social media platforms are a vehicle for this kind of abuse. The DEA had to send out a warning last year about how social media platforms are involved in selling drugs to youth. So lots of them are doing this, and the platforms have zero incentive to clamp down on this, to clean up their atmospheres. Why? Because they're monetizing it. And there's an excellent case involving Twitter out in, I believe, in the Ninth Circuit that talks about they're made aware of the CSAM that is on their platform. And not only is the company not taking it down, there are links to advertisements in these images.
Mm-hmm. To use it, monetize it, if you've said it, make it worse. Thank you. Dr. Franks, we've seen Section 230 play out in the courts on numerous occasions. Recently, has been mentioned on Gonzalez versus Google, the justice declined to rule whether targeted recommendations by social media companies' algorithms would fall outside the liability of Section 230. What does this mean for Congress, and how should we proceed?
I think it means that to the extent that Congress was waiting to see if the Supreme Court would clarify the original intent of the statute and maybe sort of steer it back to where the path should have been, the Supreme Court has now pretty decisively said, we're not willing to do that, or we think that Congress is better situated to do that. And I think at that point that means if the feeling is that Section 230 has led us down a very dangerous path, Congress has to act now.
Almost saying that we must act. Yeah,
I believe so.
Because they won't do it. So that gives us the opportunity. Thank you very much. I yield back.
Thank you.